that level of reassurance came for the moment of clarity when I understood that music as a profession was possible, mate. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
No, totally, man.
No, I'm with you there, man.
So that takes on to another question then, say, because that's good. I loved how like 3 of the questions were answered there just within the natural conversation, mate. I love that. No, I mean that's what I want this podcast to be, like informative conversations, but at a level where it's not a lecture and you're just learning for somebody talking to you, the best way. Right. So what about writing then? So how do you go about, like, if you're writing original stuff? What's your kind of process? How do you put a song together?
Okay, well, I've got to admit, I've not written an original song in quite a long time now. That little fistful of songs that I wrote when I had that moment of clarity, I wrote about 5 or 6 songs in a week, and it was then about a couple of years after that I wrote my next one, and ever since I realised that I could make more money playing covers, I've focused on.
Oh, totally, man. I would be destitute if I was trying to play original music all the time.
I realised that original music, unless you've got that scientific music business money behind you, you're really not going to make much money off of that.
Totally, man. Totally.
Apart from releasing music and listing it with PRS and performing it a lot, but that's pennies.
Yeah.
I realised playing cover gigs and running open mics and promoting venues and stuff like that, I could make more money. So for many years, what I've done is I've tried to make my own version of the covers that I do.
Same, mate. I think that's a big part of when you do covers for a living. You need to do that.
Like putting your own stamp on stuff.
Man, 100%.
You don't want to. I don't want to. Like, if I go and see a gig, I don't want to hear the band playing the songs exactly as they are on the album.
No, I
can just stay at home and put the album on.
If I like to hear that, absolutely.
If I like to hear that, I want them to have a big mad jam session in the middle.
Man, totally.
I want it to be a different. I want a couple of medleys. I want something to be faster, something to be slower.
Aye.
So I guess, but for the original stuff, a lot of the music I listened to during that Bang in the Head period, I mean, it was me and Cat Stevens and John Martin, pretty much.
John Martin, man.
So
love John Martin. Love John Martin.
When I wrote my first original stuff, it was I was messing about with open tunings, an open E and an open G, a couple in standard, but a lot of it was kind of running down that kind of road.
Aye. No, that's it, mate. That's it.
And I just
getting into that experimental sound kind of place, open tunings and.
I don't read music. I've
same,
never had
mate.
any tuition in it. So
I got my tuition at North Glasgow. Greenock. Sorry, I done some.
You did a performance course.
I done a performance course at Greenock. James Watt in Greenock,
sure.
And I didn't. But before that, I had never done any lessons or anything like that. And I got a few lessons then, but I never ever got to the reading music or anything like that kind of place either. I'm sure we're similar in that respect.
I thought I was a total wido. I thought I was when I get asked what kind of course I want to do. Oh no, the course was called Performance and Promotion, so it covered a wee bit of everything.
Aye, that was the exact same course I'd done, by the way.
The course, I think I was in the last year. I did it for a wee while, and the performance side of it, I was wide. I was just like, I know how to play.
Aye,
do you know what I mean? I thought I knew everything.
Aye, I was like that course. I felt that exact same thing. Not in that pure like. You're not being overly arrogant or it, but you get to a point you can do it. You realise, I've got it sussed now. This is fine, but there's still so much. There's so much more to learn.
You're about 2 inches into
totally,
a mile long story.
Totally.
No, totally. So I did the performance and promotion side of things more than the writing. But yeah, the songwriting. Honestly, I just felt lucky. Like I said earlier, my music had saved my life, man. And I woke up every day just. That first breath, I'm like, I've got another day to live.
Totally, man. That's beautiful.
I just want to go and do something. And if an idea came to my head, and I managed to get a pen and catch it quick enough to write it down, that was it. I was lucky.
Aye,
songs came through. I was lucky.
So that's interesting. So like when you got a bit through, you were like, go with that, jump on that, and that became a song.
Yeah, man.
And because of the fear of or the appreciation of getting something through, you jumped on it. Wow, and that's amazing, man.
Yeah, it was just you were lucky. If inspiration came through, it was like a bolt of lightning.
Aye, man.
It's going to come through you. And if you're not working for the man, if you're not stressed out your box, if you're not panicking about money and paying bills, then you'll be more open to that bolt of lightning that comes through.
Yeah.
You know, and if you've got the space and the time to catch it while it's there, brilliant.
Yeah, man. No, that's amazing, man. Well, that's an interesting point as well, right? So see, like, covers is this thing, like, for a long time then, I was like, right, I'm making money playing music, and it was covers that I was playing. So I wasn't even thinking about, am I playing covers or originals? I was just like, wow, this is fantastic. You know what I mean? I'm playing, right? But see, like, over time, man, like, I've like really, really sunk my teeth into covers now. Like I get the same. Maybe I can't say I get the same, right? But I get an emotional reaction from singing the cover as if it's my song now.
Aye.
And I think that's what taking the song and making it a bit your own is really all about. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely, man. You've got to. That's why I don't play in wedding gigs.
Yeah,
that's why I don't
man.
do wedding gigs.
Because they want the wedding gigs. It has to be like that.
They want it exactly as it is on the album.
Man.
And there's no space for improvisation. There's no space for making it your own. You know, there's no.
I've actually got a few wedding gigs, and it's because I just go out my way to do that now, right? And if somebody inquires about a wedding gig, then I just say that up front.
Aye, this is what I do.
This is what I do.
Yeah.
I'm not going to play it like you've like this. If you want me to do this, what I do here, then I'll happily do it for you. But and then in that way, it takes a lot of the pressure off as well, so you can enjoy it. Enjoy it a bit. Like I done one in Loch Lomond last. It was just before the pandemic actually, and my mate loves the kind of soulful singing and that I do, so he wanted me to do an acoustic version of Daft Punk while they were walking down the aisle, you know what I mean? And it was awesome. It was really like, he appreciated my style of music and he wanted me to play at his wedding. There was no other expectation, you know, and that made it really enjoyable,
that's
you know.
A different thing, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying though. Like, that, be open to the possibility that the gigs come by now and again, because they do. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
Because I remember thinking, like, the first time I get booked to do a wedding, man, like, oh no, and everything I'd learned word for word, note for note, and it was so stressful. The next time somebody asked me, I asked for 3 times the amount of money, just on general principle. No, that's too stressful.
That's why I've got loads of mates that are in wedding bands. You know, that's why they charge so much.
Yeah, man, because it's high stakes. It's high stakes.
You know, it's that perfect day. You know that, and that, for me, that's just not. I'm not into that. It's not. If
that person can get my style and they want that as part of their perfect day, dynamite. But see if they want me to do, like, see as well, like, I do such a varied set, man. Like, I'm doing like the Arctic Monkeys, and then I'm doing Bob Marley, and then I'm doing Johnny Cash, and then I'm doing Oasis, and it's like, how could you possibly have the one person sing all that accent perfect every time? Like,
there's
crazy,
no way that's going to happen. Do you know, I've got a funny story actually. There was a band. Somebody asked me. We were doing a lot of regular gigs in the Shawlands area. I had a regular gig every Friday night at the Corona, and I had done loads of kind of residencies in loads of different places, and quite well known in that area. And somebody in that area said, look, my sister's getting married, or somebody, their nephew or something was getting married, and the band's pulled out. It's like next week. Would you be able to do it? And I said, well, okay, let's do it. I'll help you out. And it's a guy who's been coming to my gigs over the years, and I was just like, you know what we do, and there's a set list, and we'll do like 1 or 2 songs at the start for you, and that's it. So they asked for It Must Be Love, you know, the Madness, or it's but it's Labby Sifry that wrote it in the 70s, but it's
is it
the Madness version? You ought to check.
I did not know that was a Labby Sifry song.
Mate,
no way, man.
Check his version of it.
I will do, man. I'll do that when you leave,
mate.
It's
pure soulful.
Great,
and you know, in the Madness video, in their promotional video for that, when the saxophone solo happens, there's a guy sitting at a piano with a white suit, Labby Sifry.
In the Madness video?
In the Madness video.
No way, man.
The biggest smile you've ever seen on his face, man. Because he's raking in the royalties for that.
Totally, man, totally.
But yeah, so we got booked for this wedding, and you know, we didn't charge. We charged them like pub rates for it, you know.
Yeah.
And I said that you're going to get what you're going to get. And we worked out that song. So during the day, we've set this up at St Paul Shields Borough Hall, big high stage, curtains closed over, right? We set everything up in the afternoon, closed the curtains over, and then they're coming in, the reception are all coming in, and we're kind of hanging behind the curtain, like fucking sniggering my little boys. And we'd all got a pint. There was 4 of us in the band at the time, and we all had a pint, just sat at the front of the stage as you do.
Alright.
And I said to my mate, right, go for it. And he starts turning this big wheel to open the curtains while we're playing the intro to Must Be Love.
Right.
And I'm thinking, this is brilliant. Maybe we could do this.
Aye.
This is great. And as that curtain moves along,
Oh no!
it knocks over.
I knew it. I knew it.
it knocks over all 4 pints of beer. Right, so the stage is angled, right? It's dipped. It's angled towards the audience.
Oh no!
So 4 pints of beer are now pouring slowly
Off the stage.
slowly towards the edge of the stage, right? And down. The stage is like 5 foot tall, right? And the stage in front of the stage is a huge big set of lights that says the word love, right? One of these.
Yeah, big
things.
sign lights. Yeah.
So we're already playing. We're already in, you know.
You've started this.
Right, and fucking horror, and pure horror. We're watching these things pulling
In slow motion, I bet.
just as well, there was 2 guitarists in the band, right? During the first, during the intro or the first verse, I snapped the G string on my guitar, right?
My God.
So I'm now like that, right? You need to take over to Flash Gordon. Like you need, you know,
You take the guitar part.
I'm taking
Aye.
this off, and I've got spare strings. I was kind of ready for it.
Aye.
It happened, and I'm changing a string while singing the song of this first
BB
gig,
King
of
style.
this-
That's
of
good.
this wedding gig. While the beer is now dripping off the edge of the stage onto the lights,
God, man.
and that was it.
That's-
No more weddings ever again. Fuck that.
No, man. Well, look, that's a perfect example of it, man. Like, it's one thing if you like spill a pint in the middle of a normal gig, right, and then you'll get the obligatory whoa, everybody, right. Usually, I'll be honest though. Usually, now I'm careful enough that it'll be somebody else spilling something close to us or that,
yeah.
but spilling it at a wedding, and it's when you're talking about a minute ago about like you're taking it to like this event is like somebody's big day. This is a big deal to their whole lifetime.
Years in the making.
Could be 2 years in the making, and it's going to be the pinnacle of their life for the next 20 years.
Yeah.
And you've just spilled 4 pints all of their love signing.